I want to test over 5, but with a different strategy. So I'll use a stake of 0.35 because I have an account of 1.03. Initial stake 0.35, and then I'll go with over 5. Okay, but my entry digit to use is 1, the most appearing. So when it touches 1, then I'll put 2 ticks. Just something I want to test here. Let's say. So until it touches 1, it's not gonna trade. So 1, I put 2 ticks for. It's okay though. Let's just test. My balance is lower till not 2 because shit, I can't have martingale because this would be 0.7 and the account doesn't have 0.7. So let's go back, put 1 tick here, and martingale we can put 1 because this block will execute and we multiply by 2 and we don't have that amount. So let's run. So if this trade doesn't work out, we have blown the fucking account. This shit happens sometimes, don't worry. So we're just waiting to see it worked. It worked again. So that's how we are back to 1.65. Let's say that I lost. Oh, but we don't have martingale now. So, but it's okay since it's a small account. It's right. Don't go for what you don't have because I would have gone with 0.7. The last one that lost. I see. Yeah, and I actually recommend for a beginner if you have a very small account. Sometimes martingale can cause you to blow your account quicker, so it's better not have martingale. You see, I've gone 5 runs, I've lost 3, but over 5 has a higher payout. So even if you don't have martingale, you'll always recover. So I think we can test this a bit more and just see like on if you're able to go for like 10 15 runs, what is gonna happen. This is 10 runs now, so let's see if we go for a few more extra runs, what will happen. So I always take my small accounts and use them for testing. So like for example, if you look at it, every time we lost we have recovered, but our account would be lower by the time. For example here, because we had won twice, this would have been able to get covered because this would have been 0.70. But mostly, if you have a very small account, it's very difficult to use martingale because you use martingale and then you might end up blowing the account very quickly. But martingale also multiplies your money quicker, so it's a double-edged sword that only you can choose what you want to do with it. But for me, my advice would be any account, let's say 30 and below, unless you like, even if I lose this, it's okay. My recommendation would be don't go for martingale. Like here, you see, this would have returned us to a higher pay, but you're still on profit. So, but I want to see how many runs. So I'm using 1 because 1 is the most appearing, and I had noticed the pattern. When you touch 1, it goes over. So that's why I decided to test that. And you see, out of 16 runs, 10 of them have actually been won. So that means if you are using a good stake, this would have been a good day for us. But sometimes shit happens like that. Yeah. Let's see how much we can make from this. And I also recommend you go test this strategy and just tell me how is this strategy going on. So those are two consecutive losses. I see that's a third loss. So if you see three losses, always exit. But for me, because it's just a test account, that's why I'm not worried. And as this goes on, always remember we do deposits and withdrawals for you. So you can always go to money.moneyagg.com. So this is the web app that you can use, and if you face any issues while using the app, you can reach out directly to our support line. So we have guys like Bill who work on that line, so they are gonna help you out in case you face an issue with the application. So those are two losses. Let's see if it recovers on this one. Uh, it lost on that one. Those are three consecutive losses. So this is where you stop your bot. That's a fourth one. If it loses here, our profits are gone. Remember, but you're back on there. So you can leave this running as long as you want, but it's a good way to test. And this is one reason I always say martingale for a small account might not make sense. Let's just do the math here on this one here. So this was I had traded 0.35. I lost once. It would have traded 0.70. I lost again. It would have traded with 1.4. I lost again. It would have traded with 2.8. So in total, you'd have lost, let's see, that is 1.05, 1.4, that is 2.45, and 2.8, that is 5.25. That account doesn't have 5.25. So that account would have been blown. So that's where you would have been like, yo, I've lost my money. Let me go and look for extra cash. So on a very small account, martingale is not essential. And you see, the good thing even with over 5 is you can see our loss count is 18 and our contract one is 15. But we are still in, if you look at total profit and loss, we are on profit because the payout for over 5 is higher. Because if you come here, let's just come here, one tick 5, if you go over, you see you're making a payout of 24.27. No, I want to change this to 0.35 so it makes sense. So with 0.35, you're making 0.83 USD in payout. You can just read this. Win payout if the last digit is of volatility 100, 1S is strictly higher than 5 after one tick. And then this one is win if the payout or digit 101S index is strictly lower than 5 after one tick. So you can see payout for under 5 is lower than payout for over 5. That is why even if your losses are higher than your won, you still make a profit. So take your time to understand this. Try you best, see what comes out of it. So let me just stop it. So this was just I stopped it on a loss. Could have waited for it to recover, but it's okay. So you see, this account I started with it with I think 0.6 or 1, and we made a profit of 0.46. But if I had martingale on this account would have been blown already, and we would have forgotten and gone back to look for extra cash. So you can use a small account to teach yourself and also to understand the pain of losing, because if you understand the pain of losing, you develop the psychology of a trader, because in trading there's always losses, there's always wins. So you celebrate the wins, but even when the losses come, you take them on the head and just move on. You learn from the mistakes and you go ahead. So I hope you go test that over 5 strategy. Let me know how it goes for you.